Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. Today I'm going to be talking about my reading plans for the month of October. I'm going to be participating in a couple of reading events that will be taking place throughout the month, as well as a few buddy reads, and then a couple of things that I have going on my own. First, my real life in-person book group is reading this month Sally Rooney's newest novel, Intermezzo. This is the story of two very different brothers, Peter and Ivan Kubek, in the aftermath of their father's death. Peter is a Dublin lawyer, a very successful man in his mid-30s. Ivan is his much younger brother in his early 20s, and he's something of a competitive chess player. We had heard great things about this novel, and this was pretty much our unanimous choice for for this month. So more about that as we get underway. I'm also participating in a small group reading event with Lectin at Reading from the Depths, and Alan at Alan's Reads, and Mariandrea at Books and Bocadillos. And we are reading the contemporary science fiction novel by Andy Weir, Project Hail Mary, because we felt that we were really late to the party on this one. Additionally, October is the month of a reading event created by my friend MJ called Occult Detective October. Occult Detective October is a reading event where we read novels and short stories in this sort of subgenre. Occult detective fiction is considered detective or mystery stories that also have an element of horror or the supernatural. And usually the detective, whether it be an actual detective or an amateur detective, the detective is investigating something on the creepy and supernatural side. So MJ created this event a couple of years ago, and she has a whole bunch of wonderful co-hosts, all of whom I will list in the notes below. There are a couple of prompts. There's a different prompt for each week, and I'll put those in the notes below as well. I've just selected two things that I'd like to read for Occult Detective October, and they kind of do meet a couple of the prompts as well. One is a book I got from my library, or my library actually got it for me from another library, and that is edited by Nick Rennison, and it's entitled Supernatural Sherlocks, Stories from the Golden Age of the Occult Detective. And that is the period from 1890 to 1930. And there apparently are a bunch of really great short stories in here by some of the classic writers in the genre. So I'm looking forward to reading around in that collection. And then I also picked a contemporary occult detective novel, and that is Charlaine Harris's Grave Site. And this is the first volume in her Harper Connolly mystery series. Now, a lot of people know of Charlaine Harris from her Sookie Stackhouse series, but this is another series. I don't know how many books there are in this, but this was the first one, and this is supposedly a very entertaining, it says here, too much fun series where the Harper Connolly and her stepbrother Tolliver solve supernatural crimes. Just says here in the front of the book, It is a spooky but sweet amateur detective mystery full of interesting characters, and leave it to the incredibly talented Harris to come up with another unique, troubled, and utterly compelling heroine. The suspense is dark and the paranormal elements creepy in this highly original tale that launches a new series. Paranormal suspense at its best. So that sounded fun. Okay. A major event happening in the month of October that I'm happy to be participating in also is VICTOBER, the reading of Victorian literature. This is a very popular event with many co-hosts, all of whom I will be listing in the notes below. For VICTOBER, I'm going to be doing a buddy read with my friend Jack at Spread Book Joy. We're going to be reading Anthony Trollope's Barchester Towers. Jack and I, this past May, read together as a buddy read the first volume in the Chronicles of Barchester, and that was The Warden. And we loved it so much that we said we wanted to continue with the series, and we decided to just hold off and read this one during VICTOBER. You know, Jack and I both said again that we were very late to the party somehow on Anthony Trollope, but we loved The Warden, so we're really looking forward to reading this one together during the month of October. I'm also going to be rejoining Angelia's group, Angelia at Read and Reread. She has an ongoing group called Endless Drama, where they read 2 plays a month. And this month, the beginning of October, they are reading my very favorite Oscar Wilde play, The Importance of Being Earnest. And this is a play that I've read many, many times. I think I even read it last year for VICTOBER because I was doing a deep dive into the works of Oscar Wilde. And it's also a play that I used to teach. So I'm really looking forward to rereading this. It is just an absolutely hilarious, delightful play. On my own for VICTOBER, I also hope to focus on 2 Victorian poets. One is Thomas Hardy, and I'm going to be reading from the selected poems of Thomas Hardy. And also Alfred Lord Tennyson. I don't know that all of my Poetry Thursday episodes will be devoted to these 2, but I definitely want to do a deep dive into both Tennyson and Hardy. Additionally, just a little more spooky or creepy reading. I recently received, and this was for my recent birthday, T. Kingfisher's newest novel, Hemlock and Silver. Isn't that a beautiful cover? Now, many of you might remember that I was first introduced to T. Kingfisher last year, about a year and a half ago now, when I wanted to participate in horror mayhem, and I didn't know where to begin or how to jump into a genre that I had been kind of scared of. And MJ recommended that I try T. Kingfisher, and she recommended specifically A House with Good Bones, which I read and loved, and that started me on this T. Kingfisher journey. And I read many of her novels. She has another one coming out very soon, I think in November, but this one came out in August, and I was really looking forward to this. Just a little bit about this. This is described as a sort of creepy retelling of Snow White. Just reading from the beginning, of the inside cover. Healer Anja regularly drinks poison, not to die, but to save, seeking cures for those everyone else has given up on. But a summons from the king interrupts her quiet, herb-obsessed life. His daughter, Snow, is dying, and he hopes Anja's unorthodox methods can save her. Aided by a taciturn guard, a narcissistic cat, and a passion for the scientific method, Anja rushes to treat Snow, but nothing seems to work. That is, until she finds a secret world hidden inside a magic mirror. This dark realm may hold the key to what is making Snow sick, or it might be the thing that kills them all. A darkly enchanting tale of poison and power, beautifully crafted and utterly spellbinding. So that's what I have planned for my October. Now, there might be a couple of other things that come up that I just have to read, and I'm sure there are some things that I've already committed to that I've forgotten, and I'll certainly talk about those in subsequent videos. But right now, anyway, that's my plan for the month of October. Let me know in the notes, in the comments below, what you're planning to read in October, and also, have you read any of these books that I have on deck for my October? I'd love to hear about your reading plans as well. As always, I thank you for watching. I hope that you're doing well. I'll speak with you again soon. Take care.